we go from Rashad, who's at that juncture of his career, to a young man who improved to 5-0 on Friday night. He is just 21 years young. He is one of the bright young stars fighting in Bellator right now. He is the undefeated AJ, the Mercenary McKee, and he is joining us right now via the magic of Skype. AJ, are you there?
Yes, sir.
How are you, my man?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
I got the impression that you were a little disappointed that it went as long as it did. Like you couldn't really truly enjoy it. Was that the case?
A little bit, but it is what it is, and I ended up getting another second round finish. So I'm happy, just to go in there, and it went a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but at the end of the day, I still walked off the cage with the victory.
Now, you mentioned that you were partying the night before, and you alluded to that as maybe the reason why I went to the second round. Is that true? Were you really partying the night before?
Kinda, yeah. I went to the club.
What?
We had Wiz Khalifa there, so went to go see Wiz Khalifa, man. You can't pass up Wiz Khalifa.
Were you personally invited to the concert?
Well, no, I work at the club. It was the same spot where my after party was, so
Damn.
I just kind of went up there.
What time did you go to bed?
About 1, 2.
In hindsight, do you think that was a mistake?
Definitely, I think you just kind of, being young, you just kind of look past things, and you want to just enjoy life a little. But I don't know. I feel where I want to be, where I want to go. There's little things that I gotta leave alone, and being young is probably one of them. That's a sacrifice I gotta make to get to where I want to be.
Well, what a story you are, because like I said, you're just 21, you're 5-0, and you're the son of Antonio McKee, who we've been watching for quite some time. And the interesting thing here is, I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but your dad was considered kind of a grinder. He wasn't known for his finishes. He was known to beat up people and go the distance. You're the complete opposite. You're upset if you go to the second round. Was that a conscious decision on your part? Like, I don't want to be like my dad. I want to be known as a finisher?
Yeah, it's kind of an entertainment thing for me, you make the fans happy, the fans make Bellator happy, and Bellator make me happy, so it's just kind of a supply and demand thing,
Growing up with an MMA fighter as a father, was this something that he, kind of forced you into? Like, not forced, but kind of nudged you to go in that direction? Because, I got to be honest, like, we don't see a lot of sons of fighters at this stage, as far as I'm covering the sport. It just, because you're so young and he's young as well. Is this something that he wanted you to do and you just kind of followed his path?
No, my dad actually didn't want me to fight at all. I had to beg him to let me fight my first amateur fight, which was a week after my 18th birthday.
Wow.
So after that, he kind of saw how good I was, and he's like, if you're gonna do this, then you gotta give it 110. And there's certain things, certain aspects of your life you're gonna have to leave alone. There's certain things you're gonna have to add in. So just knowing he's been through it all already, and he's been on it all, he's done it all. I just kind of look at his career and see the things he's done already and just follow his footsteps, just because he wouldn't put me down a path he hasn't already been through himself. So he's not going to tell me to walk that walk if it's not the right walk to walk.
Do you recall when you first started to think that this was something that you wanted to do?
Say that again?
Do you recall when you first started to think that this was something that you wanted to do? Like, at what age did you start to think about being an MMA fighter?
Man, since I was probably 5 or 6.
What?
I barely started. Yeah, I started wrestling at 3 or 4. So just being around all the fighters, my dad fighting all the time, being around Rampage, Chuck Liddell, Congo, Rashad Evans, literally any fighter you can talk of. All the greats I've been around, I've watched their careers. I grew up around them in the gym, Everybody's known, if you want the hard work, the grind work, that Antonio McKee, he's going to give it to you, He's going to give you the real deal. So just always being around the grind, it's all I know how to do, And that's kind of where where I feel I let him down a little, going into the second round. But it is what it is, with due time, people are going to get better and they're going to catch up. So you just got to keep evolving as they evolve along with the sport and stay on top and stay ahead. So if that's sacrificing time and partying, then that's what you got to do. You just got to decide what you want to do and give it 110.
What are most of your friends doing at this age? Like, are they in school? Do they have jobs? What are they doing?
My cousin's in school. The rest of my friends, I honestly don't talk too much.
Really?
My friends are in the gym, I see them Monday through Thursday. We'll kick it on Friday or Saturday sometimes.
Okay, but
usually I'm at work Friday, Saturday.
But the ones you grew up with, you don't keep in touch with?
Not really. They come to the fight. They support me. We'll hang out. They'll come to the after parties. But after that, it's back in the gym. I'm supposed to be in the gym today, but I'm like, I want a little break. I'm kind of drained. So I'll definitely be back into the gym tomorrow.
Are a lot of them hitting you up now that you're gaining more notoriety? You're on television, fighting on the main card. Are you feeling a lot of people coming out of the woodwork?
Not really. Some of my main friends that were always like supportive of me, even when I was fighting back in high school. Just like, hey, you shouldn't be doing this. You got a wrestling tournament. Like just fighting. I've always loved to fight. I've always been a fighter. I've always had that inside me, just to fight. So they're always supportive, and like now that I'm actually getting there, they're still supportive of me. And just when I step away, they still give me my space, but I know they're still always there for me.
When you were dreaming about your career, did you think at 21 you'd be fighting for a top promotion like Bellator on national television? Was this part of the plans, or is it happening a little sooner than you thought?
My dad's had it all planned, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm just figuring it out, and like me wanting to be the youngest champ ever now, I'm trying to get it within the next couple fights. So just it all being here and it all settling in is just life changing, life blowing. Just taking it all in, trying to get acclimated to it all is just it's intense.
Yeah, after the fight, you weren't talking about, slow builds. You were talking about Pitbull, Strauss, the champion. Do you feel like if they book that next, do you feel like you're ready for that, or do you feel like you want one or two more fights?
I feel like I got one or two more fights just to kind of tighten up things, especially after this last fight. It was a good win, but I feel like kind of overlooked Cody Walker. Not overlooked him, but I didn't expect what I expected from him just based off. He's probably one of the biggest 45s anyone's ever seen, with a 78-inch reach, 6'2". That's a huge 45-pounder. And I'm already a pretty big 45-pounder. So me having to change my entire game up, just being focused to fight Corrales and being ready for Corrales. I went in there kind of getting ready to fight Corrales, staying long and staying on the outside. But I don't know, in the middle of the fight, the whole game plan, a week before the fight, the whole game plan just changed. And my dad's like, hey, you've always wanted to go get it. He's like, this is your fight. He's like, you got to be inside this fight, so go get it. And I just went in there and I kind of let those hands go, and went to go get it.
What I appreciate about you, among many other things, is that you get the showmanship part of the game. You come out with the jacket. You call yourself the mercenary. Where did that come from? Where did this gimmick come from?
My dad, I'm a car fanatic and a gun fanatic. You can put any gun in front of me, I'll take it completely apart and put it back together.
Wow.
Without even being shown how to do it. It's just, I love guns, I love cars, I love speed. So it's kind of just things that motivate me, And like I want to go take Artemis classes just to learn tactical training. If fighting ever fell through, I was probably going to go into the military or something. There's just certain things that drive someone and fascinate someone, So for me, speed and guns is one. I love speed and I love guns.
Forgive my ignorance. Like, hey, go ahead.
Go ahead. And that's just kind of where my dad came up with the mercenary thing, Bellator also, they hired me to do a job, when they signed me to sign the contract, I signed that contract promising that I would take over the division. That was the promise I made to myself and to my dad and to Scott Croker. So at this point, all I have to do is live up to my word, and take over the game and stay focused and do it one fight at a time.
Where does the jacket come from?
That's just me. That's just a little part of AJ, man. I like a unique type of fashion, So like after the fight, I put on all white, and we went to the after party with all white. I went all white with a tux tail, white jeans, black belt, black glasses. All black.
Why all white?
It's all white. It stands out.
Okay.
I don't know. It's just it's a celebration, All white is just kind of it's kind of the thing. It's all white or all black, But white stands out a lot more than black. So I just felt it was just necessary, It's what I wanted. Everybody's got their own different little type of fashion, My cousin Joey, he's more of a modern fashionist, versus me. I'm more of a classic fashionist. So, but his style is off the chain too. I'll go in his closet and pull out his clothes just because I like his style. But it's everyone's just got their own different swag, their own different look. He'll sit one way versus the way I sit.
Right.
But they're both still a classic look.
And of course, you're talking about Joey Davis, who was successful in his Bellator debut on Friday. A very, very hot prospect, 133-0, I believe, in college. So you're on the same card as him. You called him your cousin. Is he like a blood cousin, or are you just like, is he like your boy, your cousin?
He's blood to me, but
right.
He's not. I've known Joey since I was 3. He started training in my dad's garage at 5.
Crazy.
And I was 3. So I don't have much family, Joey doesn't have much family. Our lifestyles are kind of similar, He grew up in Compton. I grew up in Long Beach, both from the hood. We just both, we both seen some crazy things in our lives. We both are changing our families' lives at the end of the day, So our lives are just so similar, from me living in a loft with my parent, my dad, my little sister, him living in a loft with his dad and his little sister, It's just crazy how similar our lives are, and how we've kind of just shared our lives together, So I'll kind of slip off track, and wherever Joey's going, I'm going. Like right now, you can see there's Joey with his girl, and I'm sitting right here. So this is just how we are. Wherever he goes, I go. Wherever I go, he goes.
And so how about that? Close to where you're both from, you're fighting on the main card. You're about to go 5-0. He's fighting on the undercard, making his debut. Was this something that you guys dreamed of? Did you plan for that? And how surreal was it on Friday in the locker room when it was all happening in front of your eyes?
For me, I didn't realize it was happening until I got into his corner and started cornering him.
Okay.
At that point, I was so nervous, it wasn't even funny. I started freaking out. My dad's one of the type of coaches, he hates when you just yell. And I started noticing, hey, you're just yelling, shut up. Your dad's not talking anymore. But I wasn't yelling crazy stuff. I was yelling good things to do, I was trying to get him to see things he needs to open up. And after the fight, he noticed it. But when you're in there, there's just certain things that hold you back that you can't do. You can't pull the trigger. You can't get in tune with your body, or there's certain things that are blocking you from that. So he sees it. I see it. We've talked about it. We've talked about it with my dad, and there's a lot of work to do. But for a month and a half of training, he's gonna be awesome, man. He's right behind, He's right behind me.
You're the reason why he didn't try to go for the Olympics, right? You said, "No, that doesn't pay. Come do prize fighting with me." What's an Olympic medal gonna do for you? We're the only country that taxes for an Olympic medal that is supposed to be a prize. How are you going to tax somebody for a prize that you're giving them? I feel it's ridiculous. And then on top of it, there's no pay for it. Yeah.
Unless you're Jordan Burroughs, and guess what? Jordan Burroughs, he lost this year. So I want to see if he's going to compete again after that. You know, all respect to Jordan Burroughs. He's a great athlete, phenomenal athlete. But hey, what's next now? You know, is he going to compete again? Is he going to switch over to fighting? Because sooner or later, you know, everyone slips up or everyone falls if something's not in place.
When do you want to return?
I want to get on the September 13th card. I'll fight whenever.
Well, what
I'm
about that break that you were just talking about?
I don't need a break.
Okay.
I'm back in the gym tomorrow. I'll be back in the gym tomorrow. I wanted today, but I'm a little spiritually drained from this weekend stuff.
Are they down with that idea? Are they going to give you a fight on that card?
I don't believe so. I think the main events are already locked in. So maybe October.
All right.
October in San Jose, the Chandler fight. I believe it's Chandler versus...
Oh, that's November 19th. Chandler Benson.
Yes. Chandler Benson, and then Phil versus... Is it Phil? Or no, MVP.
Yep.
That's the co-main. So there's 2 open fights we were talking about on the press conference after the fight, and I was like, cool. Like, I asked Scott Croker, I was like, can I fight? In the middle of the press conference, he's like, you can fight whenever you want. I was like, let's make a contract. So I'm ready, man. I got a couple more fights of just fine-tuning up to do, just spiritually getting right and doing things right, you know. So I feel 2 more fights and I'll be prepared, and we'll be ready, you know. We'll be ready to get that title shot and be the youngest champ ever.
Well, I am intrigued, my man. This, to me, represents what Bellator should be all about. They are doing a great job now of pinpointing young talent and bringing them up, and none better than A.J. McKee. 5-0 now. Fantastic win on Friday. Congratulations to both you and your cousin Joey. I'm really intrigued by what you guys are doing, and you guys have become must-see TV now. So congratulations. Keep it up, and looking forward to your next fight. Thank you very much for the time, A.J.
Thanks for having me, man. Thank you.
All right, there he is, A.J. McKee stopping by, the son of Antonio McKee. What a story Bellator has on their hands there. And the best part about it all, he is winning. And he is winning in very impressive fashion. This, to me, remember when Scott Coker came on board a couple years ago, I said, look, we need to give him some time to right the ship. And perhaps it has gone slower than some wanted. Perhaps it has been, I don't know, a little up and down, a little like a roller coaster, but you're starting to see the beginning of Scott and his team. It's important to note that he has a similar team to the one he had in Strikeforce. You're starting to see them find young talent, build up young talent, and start to have a persona, start to have a brand. You know what I'm saying? Like they did in Strikeforce with Luke Rockhold and Cain Velasquez and Daniel Cormier, young guys like that who ended up being superstars. So very intriguing stuff. A.J. McKee well on his way.